Good afternoon, YouTube, or if you're in Mountain Time or Pacific Time, good morning, YouTube. This is Tire Metalhead Weatherman. Hope you guys are having a good start to your Sunday. So we got a little bit to talk about here. Before I get into that, I'm glad you guys seem to like that this weekend forecast. 28 views in a day for a channel with only 21 subs. I'm happy with that. I mean, obviously, I want more, and that's why I'm getting on to you guys saying, hey, spread the word about the channel. But I'll take that in the meantime. I appreciate that a lot. I do think there are a lot more people that would enjoy that as well. But we have a bit to talk about here. I am going to put out a long-range forecast, as I promised that I would yesterday, especially if there wouldn't be a slight risk. However, we do have an upgrade to a slight risk for the severe weather threat today. And it's interesting, it's in 3 areas, one of which is now ongoing severe weather. Well, 2 areas. Actually, it seems like it's starting to take shape right now. I was expecting it to be a little bit later. I guess I picked the perfect time to do this video. So, looks like we have an MCS towards northern Texas and southern Oklahoma. Severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for that area. That's our first severe weather area. Far off in southern Texas towards the Texas-Mexico border, we have another slight risk. That area is going to be for large hail, and there even is a hatched risk for hail greater than 2 inches in that slight risk area. So 15% chance of significant hail. And then right around this region, all 3 hazards are in play, but this area seems to have a slightly higher tornado threat. And then both of these areas have a 2% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a given point. So I'm just briefly going to touch up on this. We went over the parameters for this yesterday for the most part. But basically we're just going to take one quick look at the outlook map and then see what the radar could look like over the next few hours. So like I said, the hail threat is definitely to the south, and there's our hatched risk area just west of east of Fort Stockton. And then over towards Wichita Falls, we just have a 15% chance of basically 1 inch hail. Nothing significant at the moment. 5% chance in areas to the north. Wind threat, 5% chance around the marginal area, 15% around the slight risk, and then tornado threat. Basically, these 2 points here, these 2 green areas, within 25 miles of a given point, there is a 2% chance for tornado. Not very high, but this does include Dallas and Fort Worth. This also includes Chicago, Kansas City, not Jefferson, and Springfield. So we'll just have to take a close look at that. But let's get a look at what the radar could look like later today. Then we'll get into the long range stuff. I'm honestly kind of frustrated with the fact that we keep getting so much severe weather. I mean, it's good for the channel because there's stuff to talk about, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people are tired of it, A. And then B, there's other stuff that I actually need to talk about on here, like hurricane season, for example. There's already been a hurricane outlook that I haven't even had a chance to talk about yet, due to the severe weather and other personal obligations that I've had to attend to. But anyway, radar is loaded. Let's take a look at what is to be expected in the next 18 hours. So we already have our MCS over here that's causing severe weather. Severe thunderstorm watch issued. Almost certain that there are severe thunderstorm warnings there too. In fact, I'm going to backtrack and take a quick look. As of right now, actually, no. But I expect that to change very quickly, especially as this line of storms continues to develop. So over the next few hours, here's another MCS right here. And then right behind it, there's snow still around North Dakota. Yesterday, this same area was getting strong to severe thunderstorms. Now we're getting snow on the backside of this. Talk about a dynamic storm. So move this along. This low finally moves into Canada, drops a bunch of snow and wintry precipitation for them. But we're still left with plenty of Gulf moisture hanging around, lingering around, so there's going to be plenty of showers and thunderstorms leading into Monday. There is a marginal risk for Monday as well. Briefly go over that going forward, and that's the end of our model run. I do think that I don't really think this upticks to a slight risk at all, because the ingredients, the environmental parameters just aren't as conducive as they were further off to the west. So that being said, let's go on to our favorite map, the geopotential height. We're going to get into the long range here. This is our current storm system that we're seeing right now. Very stout, very strong, low pressure system. So we're going to move this forward. And on Monday, I mean, this will linger long enough to form a little bit more weather. GFS actually has it showing a little push further south. And this is a pretty new model. Like, this updated around 1 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock now, so this is a pretty up-to-date info that we're getting here. So on Wednesday, this continues to meander, according to GFS, the GFS ensemble. This continues to meander around the Great Lakes region, bringing a little bit of a cool down towards the northeast. Doesn't make it very far south. Meanwhile, the southeast will be getting unsettled weather because of this. All during that time, we will get a break for severe weather, and we will also have the Central Plains warming back up as this ridge begins to take shape. So we move this further along. Cold air tries to make a push to the south and may get to the Appalachians, but after that, just kind of stalls out. So I'll keep an eye on this, because this could turn into another small wintry event for the interior northeast, especially around the Great Lakes. Meanwhile, our ridges are moving off to the east and northeast. So just as quick as the northeast is having a cool down, going to warm back up briefly before this upcoming storm system at the beginning of May and at the end of March. Beginning of May and the end of April and the beginning of May. I'm sorry about that. Is going to come in and cause some more disturbed weather around the Central Plains, and then eventually to the southeast. And, well, eventually to the eastern half of the country, excuse me. So this is getting towards that, past that 150-hour mark, so things will look a little bit wacky on here. I do think that there could be another ridge here, but there looks like there's another storm system right behind this one, so it looks like we're still in our active pattern, so don't you worry. It looks like we're going to have plenty more weather if you're looking for it. Then after that, things just get wacky. It looks like another storm system forms here. This is kind of getting into a really bullish look, and it looks like there's a pretty big cool down in store for the eastern half of the country around the 6th of May. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that, and if more needs to be mentioned about it, I will make more videos about that in the future. So that's the end of our forecast run. We're at 318 hours out. We aren't at the full 384 because this model is actually still pretty fresh. It's not completely done, actually. It's kind of crazy. It's always hard for me to tell the timing, have the timing right on these ensemble models. So let's take a look at the GFS here, because the GFS is at 384 hours. So we'll take a look at the GFS and see how it correlates with the ensemble, because fun fact here, the GFS is actually what's considered as an operational model. The ensemble models kind of give you a little bit better data. GFS kind of is a little bit more relatively based. You can't really access this kind of stuff here, like precipitation type rate and basically almost radar like reflectivity on an ensemble model. So we'll move this forward. So we'll start out looking at today. Our MCS is coming through. Tuesday we have another small line of storms, maybe a slight chance of a stronger storm around Mississippi. Wednesday this all moves off, get our cold air to the northeast, and then we get new severe weather forming on Thursday. So our storm system gets really stout here. It's Could be a very similar situation for the northern plains. Get snow 1 minute around North and South Dakota, severe weather in the next minute. And I mean, just the pattern still just looks ridiculously active. Around early March, around the 2nd or 3rd, I would expect maybe some stronger storms to be forming up in the southeast once again. Maybe a little bona fide snowstorm around the northeast and the Great Lakes between the 6th and the 9th. Then more severe weather to be expected once we get to the 300-hour mark. Of course, once we get past 150 here, it really gets difficult to keep up with all this because we're so far out and there's so much uncertainty. So basically we're anything that we see past here, we're going to be watching a lot more closely, and anything past this point we're going to take with a grain of salt here. So that's really how you should approach looking at long range forecasts. I just show this to you to give you just try to give you a little heads up, looking at like a heads up well in advance, but also understanding that this isn't guaranteed. Really, nothing's guaranteed, even within the 150-hour mark, but this is an idea of what could happen. But this is all I got for you guys today. It's a quick video. Long range forecast and the weekend forecast tend to be pretty quick for me. So that's all I got for you guys. It's been Tyler Metalhead Weatherman. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I hope to have some changes done to this channel very soon. Goodbye.